Hi everyone. So I'm just going to jump straight into sketching these flowers today, and I will leave links to the references in the description. Quickly, if you're not new to my channel, thanks for dropping in today. And if you are new, then my channel is basically my online sketchbook. And if you're a beginner, I encourage you to draw with me from the start to now because my references progressively get more difficult because I am a self-taught artist, which is today's topic that I want to chat about. So what do I mean by being self-taught? It means that I gather the information myself. I do the research on how to draw buildings, learning perspective, and how to draw people and stuff like that. And I assign myself practice exercises. I don't follow a formal curriculum, obviously, and there's no teacher grading me or pushing me along. It's all self-directed. So basically, I'm teaching myself by doing. So it's trial, error, and repeat. I try to pick simple subjects, or I do pick simple subjects, nothing overwhelming, and you will notice that in my videos. But as I progress, I try to pick more difficult subjects. And that's also the hard part of being self-taught, is because I keep leaning onto what I'm familiar with. So I have to actually get out of that rut. But today's sketches are actually a repeat from when I first started this channel, and I can totally see the difference. I'm happier with my style and the line work, and I'm just really happy knowing that there's actual progress. So if you are wanting to learn at your own pace, you're okay with making mistakes and not having someone tell you what your mistakes are, you're just kind of learning them as you go along, and you're willing to repeat the same drawing over and over again, then definitely let's do this together. Hit the subscribe button and let's just draw. Don't worry about style, because style will just happen naturally as you get better, and you'll gravitate to the style that you love the more and more you do research on the artists that you like. All right, let's get into the pros and cons of being a self-taught artist. Before I start, I've worked with many artists in the animation industry and have had formal training, so I'm not pulling this information out of my ass. It's just what I've learned from them and talking to them a long time ago, and I feel like it's still relevant. And if it's not, let me know in the comments if anything has changed. It's always good to learn and keep an open mind. But anywhoots, all right, let's start this, and I want to start with the cons. Con number one, you have no formal credentials. Some jobs, grants, or teaching gigs just require a degree, so it doesn't matter what your portfolio looks like. Con number two, there's less built-in networking. Art school gives you classmates, professors, and access to people in the industry. When you're self-taught, you have to build those connections from scratch, which can take way longer. Con number three, you don't have a real clear roadmap. In school, you get a set path, clear deadlines, and regular feedback. As a self-taught artist, you've got to figure out what to learn and when. No one tells you if you're on track or how far along you should be during this process. And con number four, imposter syndrome is real. Sometimes not having that formal training can mess with your confidence. You might feel like you're not a real artist, even when your work is just as good, just because you didn't take the traditional route. All right, so there are pros of being a self-taught artist, and here is my list. Pro number one, total freedom. This is one of the biggest upsides. It's huge, especially if you're older and juggling a full-time job like me. I get to learn what I want, when I want, and how I want. And I can explore the styles of the artists who actually inspire me and figure out what direction I want to go with my style. All right, pro number two, self-discipline and growth. Even without a classroom, I still show up for myself. And I feel that accountability has helped me grow as a person. Even though it's awkward sometimes because some of my stuff isn't that great, I post my progress as well. And that's also a good way to stay humble and to listen to those who constructively criticize your work, because that helps you get better and keeps you motivated. Okay, and finally, pro number three, no art school debt. And let's be real, no degree also means no student debt. If you have money, then this doesn't apply to you. But if you're a financially average person like me, art school isn't cheap. So while I've missed out on the classroom experience, I've also skipped out on the loans that can follow me for years, especially if you want to go to the top art schools. I've invested in my own materials, books, courses, and time, but at my own pace, which saves a lot of money. Don't get me wrong, would I've loved to study in art school? Of course, totally. But I grew up in a time, because I'm in my 50s now, when art wasn't seen as a real option, at least not in my family. So, closing this chat up, yes, being self taught isn't the traditional route, but with all the free resources that are available today, and if you really want to learn, there's nothing to stop you. And just know that there is a large community of us self taught artists, and we can be just as good if we set our mind to it. All right, until the next video, have a good one. Stay positive, stay creative, and be kind to others.